Hello. What's up, Crow? How you been? You missed last night's, pal. This is so interesting. I'm trying desperately to get through and change some of these settings and do something fun, but all this shit sucks. It's so interesting. The chat thing isn't working. I know. It's all bogus. Oh my god. My life sucks. I don't think I'm ever gonna figure this shit out. That's alright. We'll keep playing. What about this one? How do we fix this one? Whoa. Shit! Oh, Crow. I'm falling apart at the seams. Hey, there we go. Look at that. There's that chat. I'm trying to get the Twitch chat to work too. Oh, what's up, Queen of NASA? How you been? We are chilling. You were doing something off orbit? That's awesome. With Queen of NASA? Remember when, been good? That's great. I'm glad. I really want... What if I throw in a test? Whoa. There we go. Okay, so that's way too big. And it's all messed up. So I screwed that thing up. Alright, well, I'll figure that out some other day. Let's just delete it. And there we go. Much, much better. By the way, Nathan, are you feeling okay? Because you're cursing a lot. I can tell you guys if I'm doing alright. I think I'm fine. Oh, what's up, everybody? We're doing some drawing tutorials. I'm just checking up. I'm fixing all of my computer stuff first. Yes, I am doing well. I hate these little issues with computers. I think stuff should just work. It's my biggest like boomer mentality. If I download something or if I buy some piece of technology, it should work immediately. Okay? There should be no I'm not doing any setup. I'm not doing regular updates. Just sell something that works immediately. And then let it do that forever. Like remotes should never fail, but they always do. And it is like the quickest, oh my god, it's the quickest way to drive me up a wall. I'm such I'm such a crotchety old adult man when stuff like that starts breaking down. Oh my god, just thinking about it. Just thinking about this, setting up a camera, two cameras and a one little chat box is I'm ignoring all 50 art projects I have to do. That's great. Oh, a new Crossroads Crosstalk releases? Oh, sick. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Okay, anyways, I'll stop. I'll stop being annoying. Let's do faces. Let's do some more faces today. So, as you are drawing, and this is we're going to start heating up here, all right? For a face, basically, I'm getting much, much better with faces as I'm drawing. And what we want to do, also, Crow, check the new camera. You can start seeing light pencil lines, which is insane. First time ever. When you're drawing a face, oh, thanks for all the likes. Everyone always says, like, start with this halfway line. Like, draw a line right through the middle of the egg that you draw, right? But what this is supposed to be is your brow line. It's supposed to be basically the line right in between your eyes and your eyebrow. If you look at this face up here, if you can take a peek, this same oval, see the entire head, the entire face? If I drew that halfway line, it's right at those eyes, and pretty much the entire face is that bottom half of the circle. It doesn't stretch out into that top half. And it also, Nathan is getting expensive equipment. Money is good. Going to change him. Buddy, the money already changed me. I'm an asshole. What you'll realize is half of this circle is forehead and top of head, which is nuts. Everybody has a massive forehead. Even if you don't think you do, guess what? Half your head is forehead, buddy. It just gets covered up by hair. So what we want to do with this egg drawing, me and Ninjago are officially 15. Whoa. That's crazy, NASA. So what we can do is now with this half line, I'm thinking, okay, I know about where my eyebrows and eyeballs are going to be, right? So I can throw in just like a random indication, nothing permanent, just like something, right? Now I'm thinking, how in the hell do I learn where a nose is? Guess what? It's super easy. Take this section and divide just this section by half again. So bang, that's probably where the bottom of the nose is going to be, okay? Super simple, super easy. You're going to have nightmares. From what, Ninjago? Oh, actually it's proven that the bigger the forehead, the smarter you are. Interesting. Probably more space for a brain, I would bet. So now we know where the bottom of the nose is. Great. That's super cool. Oh, I'm so wet right now. But if we need the mouth, we need some sort of way to understand where the mouth is going to be, right? So guess what? I'm going to take this section and I'm going to cut this one in half. You big dumb idiot. Just cut it right in half. Bang. That's probably where the mouth is going to be. So as we're sitting here, we have this brow slash eye line. It gives us a good indication of where these details are going to be. We have the nose section. So guess what? I'm just going to throw in a little bit of shadow, and that's probably where my nose is going to be. We have a rough estimate of where the lips are going to be. So I'm going to throw in just like a dark section or circle for where I think the lips are probably going to be. And already we have, like, it doesn't look like much. It looks very cartoony and strange and ghoulish, but we have like the framework, the foundation for every piece of detail that we have to throw into this face, right? So now we can get into the fun tips, the sexy tips. Your best friends may have found a way to add Ninjago to my phone's font too. Whoa. No, you should keep keep torturing Crow. It's fun. It's fun for me. Humpty Dumpty looking. It is. It's egg. If you think of setting up eggs first, you'll like officially probably start getting much better at drawing. Just think egg. The more egg you can think about, the better for drawing. Yes, please stop. Crow, what you been up to? How are your holidays? So now that we have all of these rough cuts, let's start talking about fun tips. Oh, what's up, Thomas? How you been? Fun tip, Thomas, you probably heard this last night. You can't draw an egg? Yeah, you can. Hey, I'm telling you right now you can draw an egg. Just take your pencil, hold it however you want to hold it, and use your shoulder and just do an egg shape and you have an egg. And I've been doing great. Oh, it's sweet. I'm glad. Now that we have these, let's talk about quesadilla. Spelled horribly, Thomas, I might add. When you're drawing eyes, when you're drawing heads, when you're drawing faces, it's good to understand all of your proportions and your perspectives. Okay, chat? So, a good rule of thumb, every human head is 5 eyes wide, right? Let me explain. You remember when I threw in these indications for where I think the eyes are going to be? If we draw 5 of that same shape, that's about exactly how wide the face should be when it's staring right at you, right? I've been orbiting low orbit since a week ago. It's amazing. Dude, I am glad. Send me a picture of what you're flying in. Or are you just straight bodying? Or are you just raw in orbit, texting on your phone? So, as you see, 5 eyes. That sets up our width, and it also sets up all of our proportions later on, because if you see that, you know these 2 eyes, our main eyes, are going to be sitting right here on the head, but we have 1 eye width in the middle, and that's going to be our full nose width. Your nostrils, if you look at them, really don't go past the hard corners of the insides of the eye, right? So we're going to take this dimension, and I'm just going to draw 2 lines straight down, engulfing that like initial shadow that I had, right? And that's as big as the nose can be. Obviously, it can be smaller, it could be slightly bigger, but like that is our guiding force. It is just one eye width. So now that we have that, we can sort of finalize or understand that our eyes are all going to sit right there. And then these two, these outside eyes that we put, are just going to give us an indication of how wide the head is going to be past the eyes. And this is also subject to change. If you look at this face, I did that same eye method, that same rule, but for this character, I wanted the face to be a little bit skinnier, so I cut in just slightly from that width of the eye, right? Are we all following this? Are we all loving this? Yeah, we are. It's easy actually, just ignore gravity and ascend to the fifth plane. I never thought about it like that. I could try that. After stream, I'll join you. Okay, so now that we have all these proportions, guess what? We have more setup to do. We can throw some triangle lines or some slant lines or past this nose point down to the chin, and that'll give us a better indication of where that mouth is going to lie. We can even take the middle line of these eyes and draw straight down. And this is a very hot tip. This is a very fun way to draw. If you draw a line directly down the middle of the eye to the chin, it gives you the exact points where the mouth should be, or where the mouth should end. This is as wide as possible that the mouth can be. Are we seeing that? Right? Isn't that awesome? Hello, what's up, Assassin Doggo? How you been? So, as we're going, we have all of these little pieces of framework. We have all these little things that help us out, figure out where every single detail is going to be. But because we're illustrating, because we're making cartoons, we're not doing super like high realism or anything crazy like that. It's fun to think through all of these details as what's the simplest form of every single line that I can draw, right? Are we understanding this? So, if I'm drawing an eye, I don't want to draw the entire thing and shade in and go crazy on it. I don't want to bounce on it every single time, right? What I want to do is I want to draw just the parts that are going to make you stinkers, realize that it's an eye. So, for this one, I'm pretty comfortable with this placement. So I'm just going to throw in a little indication for a tear duct, and then I'm just going to throw in the top line. And maybe I'll put in just a little indication that there's a bottom line there too. So I'm going to mimic and mirror the same on this side, and just slightly indicate that that eye has a little bit of extra depth. Isn't that nice? Liking the live, thanks so much. That means a lot. You've returned? Oh, sweet. I didn't even know you were leaving. What are we drawing? We're doing faces today. We're doing a couple of faces. We're doing whatever the chat wants, but for now I'm doing at least some sort of tutorial. Then, now that we have the eye, guess what? Just throw in a big blob for your iris and pupil. Usually when you're doing illustrations like this, it doesn't really need to be that detailed. I'm just going to throw in 2 little dark circles. Nothing crazy, just relax. Relax on it. Okay, now that we have this, big thumbs up from Crow, thank you very much. Now that we have this, remember when I was talking about the nose? Well, there's some more detail we can add to this. So, if it has to be 1 eye width, guess what? The nose is 3 planes, right? The nose is like the front-facing plane, and then it goes away from us as the viewer. Like it's like a perspective drawing. Like this is the nose. It has that front. You can look at yourself in the mirror and see this. It has the front, and then it has the 2 sloping sides that go into your cheeks, right? So with this guy, guess what? We're going to do the same thing. We are going to start with that front plane right in the middle. And since we already drew the bigger rectangle around it, we're sort of already starting to see those planes form. Wow! What the heck? When are you drawing the Kamaktakun? We could do that today. Hello. The little ballerina. Yeah, dancing ballet. Of course, of course, of course. So, now that we have this, you can already sort of tell, like your brain wants you to think of that thing as 3D already. And all we did was add a rectangle on top. You see how easy it is? Like, drawing is an illusion. It's trying to trick everybody into thinking that you're drawing 3D instead of on a flat piece of paper. So now that we have that, we can sort of just freestyle some nostrils and maybe the front part of the nose and some nostrils there. And then we can add in just the hard edge at the bottom of the nose around those nostrils. And then we can just sort of do shading and like fun little detail work up on this bridge of the nose, or like this front plane of the nose. And you see how just slightly adding a little bit of value on there made that nose look realistic? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that kind of like bonkers town? Wow! Wait, what the hell? Drawing actually works? And now from here, you can just throw down a little bit of a shadow if you want to. We can add in that little teardrop above the lips if you want to. Remember when we talked about the eyes being a good middle ground and a good foothold for how wide the mouth should be? We already have those points, so let's just draw a little middle line for those lips. We can just draw a little bit of value for the top lip, nothing crazy. Lips don't actually have any hard lines except for that middle line, so just shade the top lip, and then guess what? I'm just gonna shade a little bottom, just a little bit of that bottom lip underneath to make it look like, oh my god, it's 3D. You can see the shine of the top lip and the shadow of the top lip. Jesus, Thomas, are you coming to God right now? So, guess what? All of those simple little methods that we've done, all of a sudden we have like a pretty realistic face. Crow, NASA, Doggo. Are you guys seeing this? And now basically, the drawing is getting extremely close to being complete. We can just go in and sort of map out, where we want our cheekbones to be, where we want our chin bone to be. Just kind of play with it. And then you can go in and start adding an outline to this person's face. So I want the chin to start right here. And I want it to swoop up and have like a pretty solid jawline. The jawline usually starts just at the lips. That starts that curve upwards, right? So we can just do a little bit of that. And I'm keeping all of these lines light because guess what? There's going to be a time and a place where these lines are wrong. And we're just going to have to erase and redo. But that's fine. That's normal. So we're just going to start slowly etching in what this head shape actually is. And I'm digging that. I'm liking it a lot. So I'm going to darken up some of these lines. Bingo. Now, let's throw in some ears on this puppy, right? I'm not chatting at the moment though, because I'm making a dragon puppet. Oh, sweet. Yes, I am seeing it with my two very blind eyes. I always forget that you're totally, completely blind. Oh, Assassin Doggo's in both chats now. That's great. Very, very perfect. Thank you very much for joining. Like a Muppet thing? Oh yes, of course. Let's talk about ears. Guess what? Ears work super simply. They're always from the eye, about the middle of the eye, down to the nose, right? You can see it in this face that I drew. Ears just go from eye to nose on every single person. If you don't believe me, look in the mirror and then say you were wrong. So, to draw an ear, we're just going to draw a weird little half teardrop type of shape. And the funny thing about ears is you just kind of have to practice them. There's no skill, there's no trick, there's no nothing. Ears just look like ears. They're just like beans on the sides of heads, right? So that's all you have to do is just get comfortable with this exact shape. It's just like a half bean. Okay? Are we all understanding that? So, now with that, you can add in as much or as little detail as you want with ears, especially if you're doing cartoon stuff. Usually it doesn't matter too much how much detail is in an ear. I like to do that little top ridge and that little hole, because I think that looks realistic. Now, remember when we set up this drawing and we had a half of this head just dedicated to forehead? Bingo, it's all going to be forehead. So, if we did all of these midlines and halfway lines and we marked everything up, we can do the same thing for the forehead. Speaking of forehead, let's draw some eyebrows quick, just to make this guy look not freakish. bingo, we'll just add a little bit of bushiness, a little taper, a little tail off, and there you go. We can even add in some weird little forehead bumps. Great. Look at that. Perfect. If this is the midline of the head, I'm going to go up like halfway or 3/4, and I'm going to draw another line. And that's probably, hey, guess what? That's probably going to be his hairline. So what we're going to do is let's make this guy have a let's just do a buzz cut, huh? All right, is that chill? So what we're going to do is we are going to draw up and around, just give him a little bit of a crook, and then we can go around maybe as a little bit of a widow's peak, right, just for some definition. Same thing over here, just past the eyebrow, you're going to add that little point of, I don't even know what it's called, this part that sets up the sideburn a little bit better. And then we're going to finish off that hairline. And then this is a great step. This is a great little From Sesame Street, just like yours. Oh my god. With every drawing, guess what? Get to a point, bro is using his talent to draw Bolshi. Oh my god. He's right. That's crazy. Maybe we should just make it Bolshi now. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? The step back method. Bingo. There we go. Every time you get to a point in a drawing where you're thinking, hey, this is bullshit, what you want to do is take a step back and look at it and think, is this actual bullshit or is it real life? And guess what? This guy's real life. So I'm not going to erase it. If it is bullshit, then you start erasing and you start redoing and you start using your talent for good instead of Woody, right? So this is solid. I'm going to start with the actual outside of the head. And with that, we're just going to slowly follow that very first big oval we drew that set up all of our proportions for everything. But I'm going to cut it in just a little bit and make it a little bit more rounded because I know that I don't want this guy to look like a cone head. And the oval that we drew was a little bit cone-ish. So you see that I finished off that head, and half of this whole head is just forehead and hair, right? And then the other half is face. And dude, with just a little bit of drawing, we've gotten a pretty solid head on this guy. And then what you can do is you can just shade all of this hair in like nothing. Bingo, bango, bongo. Keep all the lines the same direction for now. We can go the opposite direction as well. And then, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Now you can just add as much or as little detail as you want, but that's how you draw a face. And if you want to, Estate owns the ghost. Thank you very much for saying live, 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 live. That means a lot to me. I mean, I've seen the video like where you go bald yourself. Dude, I might have to go bald again. I might be sick of my hair already. But now that we have this face, you can erase all of those little guidelines. You can go as detailed or not as detailed as you want to. You know, it's all just preference now. All of that stuff helped us a ton. If you really want to, you can go with pen and you can make all of this look more professional, more interesting, add darker values, whatever. I'm going to keep it pencil because I like pencil. I like that aesthetic. And that's it. What do you guys want to learn how to draw next? I'll just put a how to face. Bingo. And then I'll also add a I have, oh yeah, there we go. This makes much more sense. So that's how to draw a face. I have the Epstein list. Nothing we need to talk about there. There's no galaxy. Oh, Kamata-kun, of course. No galaxy, nor bloom, nor grape. I know. There's nothing. Bloom was in last night. He was the only one. Actually, no. NASA, you were in last night for a little bit, I believe. But yeah, let's do we're gonna do Kamata-kun ballet, and then we can do a dragon if we're still online. Got him. Thank you, Josh. I mean Thomas. What the hell? I was reading two names at the same time. Hey, chase him. Relax. That is not that is not the perfect response I've ever heard. Bingo bango, where's the bango bongo bungo? What the? Assassin Doggo, you're going nuts. Fourth episode of Godzaban. Okay, I can do that. Let's find it. Here we go. Come on. Where are you? Where are you? Everyone on TikTok, relax. We're finding something to draw next, finding some next tutorial to make. And we're not taking Chasem's request. It always blows my mind how hard it is to find this image. Let me try writing tutu. Oh my god. It's so ugly. There we go. Okay, finally found it. Insane. Insane how long it takes me to find this image every single time. So, now that we have... it's so insane. I'm losing all of my... Everyone that decided to watch this is leaving because this is taking so long. Okay, so... Thank you. No problem, Thomas. No offense of you two, as well as the Lady Grape. It feels depressing to be here without the constant ear-drumming sound of Galaxy and Bloom Make. That's what I'm saying. It is quite sad. They add a special secret sauce. Okay, so to draw a dragon or monster or alien, basically, all we're going to do is break things down into the simplest shapes possible first. So, if we are drawing what looks like a big eel in a tutu, we're going to start with a big oval. And guess what? That oval is inside of a larger oval. And this larger oval is going to be a tutu, and this smaller oval is going to be our main bread and butter dragon type alien. Godzilla's, I don't know, cousin? What is it, Assassin Doggo? You let me know. Then, like all animals, guess what? Every human, animal, whatever you're drawing that's organic and has a brain, the head is going to start as a circle. I'm just letting you know. However, it matters not since I and myself are here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Crow. Every head is a circle. It doesn't matter what. As long as you start with a circle, you can usually get a bunch of guidelines down and you can make things look solid. So, with this creature is actually surprisingly simple. So this is basically all of the simple shapes that we need to draw for this. It kind of looks like a wizard hat, right? And we can start laying in some details. So, because this thing doesn't really apply, or this thing doesn't really sit in the realm of reality, a lot of the midlines that we do for these sort of cartoon faces aren't going to apply. For this thing, the mouth is at that midline. So let's do a midline there. Let's do a horizontal midline as well, just to give us some symmetry as we're going. And then let's do this top line up here that's going to tell us about where the eyes are going to be. So, we can just start throwing in, especially when you're doing made-up creatures. Sometimes it helps to just throw in the bigger blocker. Kamata-kun is the first phase of evolution of Shin Godzilla. That is very helpful. Thank you very much, Asasadago. I was wondering how this thing relates. Cousin is funnier though. Imagine this is the nephew or this is the cousin. So, oh, what's up, Kelsey? So as we're doing these sort of made-up creatures, sometimes instead of doing all of these sort of how you say guidelines or blueprints or whatever, I haven't been able to take over the Nathan multiverse. You have. You've taken it over multiple times, doggo. Instead of having all of these guidelines, made up creatures kind of play by their own drum, the beat of their own drum. It all doesn't really make sense, so sometimes when you're drawing them, it helps to just start throwing in detail where you think it's supposed to go. So I'm going to throw in, paying attention to this midline, of course, as many guidelines as you can make them, because then it helps you draw every single piece. So I'm going to throw in a curved line that meets at that middle point, and then I'm going to throw in another curved line that again sort of hovers around that middle point, and this is what I'm thinking the mouth is going to end up looking like, or at least placed like. Okay? So we have a rough cut of an eye, we have a rough cut of a mouth. I bet the other eye is going to be on the other side mirrored at the same spot, so we can throw in a little indication of that. I know that his jaw is going to stick out from his mouth a little bit, so hey, let's add in a little bit of depth there. And then I know that this thing looks like a total freak, and it has this big rib cage sort of sticking out and away from its body. So I'm going to throw in another circle right underneath the head, and this is going to give me some indication of how this body is shaped, right? So now I can use this to give me a much better outline, a much better setup for getting this jaw and everything correct. So that jaw that I first put is a little bit too wide, so I'm going to cut in just a little bit. And all of these lines are basically just exploratory. I'm just trying to figure out some sort of rule or some sort of thing to get me to the final product fast, right? And we're slowly getting there. The more simple shapes you add in, the more regular stuff you add in as you're drawing, first off, that gives me, the artist, more information to then base other perspective and other proportional things out on. But also, the more times you're adding all of this stuff in, the easier the drawing gets, because the more structure I have, the better I can just sort of outline and figure out and finalize things before making big mistakes. So I'm just going to throw in another big outline on this back of this monster, right? And again, everything is very exploratory. And if this thing is a rib cage, going down that middle line, it's probably going to cut in and up and then out and down from each other, right? Because that's how symmetry works. So, this thing is starting to look like a penis. And we can't really help that, because that's just what this thing looks like. It is a disgusting eel dragon monster. So, we are just going to continuously add all of the extra little details, all of the bumps, everything that makes this thing great, and just slowly working our way through all of these details. So, we're going to come up, and his nose sticks out quite a bit, so that's actually, this top ridge is going to be the top of his nose, which is crazy town. And then his gums also show, so I'm going to throw in a little extra line above here, and then hopefully I can make this look like it's sticking away from his body, which I think I just did by connecting those two lines and playing a little bit with shadows. Alone. That's a fantastic song, Crow. So, as we are going, he has these crazy gums. We're just going to continuously add and take and draw. He's got crazy teeth. Let's draw in a bunch of random crazy little chiclet teeth that make him look even more disgusting. And as we get away from our perspective, these teeth get smaller. They get farther away and behind each other as they go away from us. So, this side of the jaw, more teeth overlap than this side of the jaw. And then, of course, we're just going to get into the final sort of section of this drawing, which is all detail. Because this is such a simple shape and there's nothing really going on, we can just try our best to make this look realistic. And I say realistic with a grain of salt because this is a fake alien monster, it doesn't really follow all of the rules of everything else in this world. So we're just going to pretend for a lot of it. So that's going to pop up there. That nose is going to curve up a little bit. He has some head ridges. This eyeball sticks out and around a little bit, so we can throw in a big juicy eyeball there and a big iris there. And again, this thing is supposed to be the ugliest thing you've seen today, so don't worry if that's exactly what it ends up being. Now, his rib cage sticks out, so I'm going to draw that indication. Again, this thing is just like, it is so phallic. It's so bad. All of the rib cage bones are kind of sticking out there, so we can throw in a couple of those just as indications. Bingo, bango, right? Maybe there's a little bit of a sternum action going on. We can add in a little bit of shading on everything, down and around. And then basically from here, we just have to make sure everyone on Earth knows that this thing is super, super ugly. So, adding in these little fine details of the gums being red and gross, the teeth being little crazy white fangs everywhere, remembering perspective, remembering all of the little pieces of this guy, drawing in some crazy gums again on the bottom. Wow, wait a second, he's starting to look like a crazy, disgusting alien. Guys, I think we might be cooking. He's really starting to look like he's supposed to. Let's shade in that mouth of his to give it some depth. We can even darken up some of the middle spots where it goes down into his throat. We can throw in some crazy lip detail. We can throw in some nostrils. We can throw in just a little indication that his eye is over on that other side, right? And then basically, the rest of this guy is just disgusting warts and texture. So we can just do a ton of that work down his side, down everywhere, right? Everybody's thinking to themselves, Jesus Christ, why is Nathan drawing this? Because it's been requested so often, and I deserve, or my viewers deserve to finally see it. So as we're going along, we're really thinking about form here. We're really thinking about making sure this guy looks disgusting and proportional. And now, for the best part, remember this circle from the very beginning? It's a tutu. He's wearing a little ballerina tutu. The silly shroom, it looks like an evil frog. It definitely does. Mask maker. Yes, exactly. Check out the new camera, silly shroom. Isn't it sick? As a teacher, I've found myself panicking with accidental phallus in front of me many times. Dude, oh, you're also a teacher? Are you an art teacher? Yes. Peyton, what's up? Don't worry, you came in at a very wrong time. Everything sort of looks like dick and balls at a certain point. But what you can do is just don't mention it at all and draw as much detail around it to hide that fact. And that's the only thing, that is the only tip I can tell you. So for a tutu, since it's all light and airy and fun, what you're going to do is take this outline, this very first outline, and keep it very light and kind of crazy like this, right? Kind of think saw blade, think ghost, think how can I make this as light as possible but also still have a little bit of a sharp edge, and you get this sort of weird effervescent ethereal line that goes all around, right? And we don't want this to have any really dark lines anywhere, because now we're going to go from the center out and we're going to draw some pinwheel lines just around everywhere, especially around where it connects to the body. And these lines are going to start creating that sort of illusion that this tutu is flaying out and away from the body. And the fun part about tutus are you can just really play with and practice folding fabric. So like I'm even throwing in just some random triangles that are connected. I'm choosing a couple of lines to start darkening up just because that's going to give the illusion that this thing is, you know, real and it has some depth to it. But as you go, you're just sort of mimicking a flower, but making it kind of crazy and light and weird. And then just like shade in maybe the closer to the center over everything because that's where the most fabric is, but everything else can stay pretty much just totally light and easy and nice. And there you go. We'll throw in maybe a hard line just around this guy, and that is Kamata-kun from Godzilla. Isn't that nice, Assassin Doggo? You've been asking for this guy for weeks, and there he is. He's perfect. Perfectly ugly. The thing you're drawing right now looks like my uvula. It does. Well, you should have seen it earlier, Peyton. I was basically just drawing a penis for like 30 minutes straight, and then I finally got some detail on it. But it's still, hey, guess what? It still looks like some junk in the trunk right now. Oh, what's up, Mao? How are you doing? Make a page full of cute things? That would be really nice, actually. After that drawing. What's up, Mao? Is it true you've made of pizza dough? What? Who's made of pizza dough? Draw Egalt from Ninjago? No! I can't even take another request. This stream's already over. We've been drawing for an hour. And that's... Actually, you know what? We can do a little bit more. Let me take off this sweatshirt. Let's keep drawing. Don't look, everybody. We're chilling. Good God. Okay. Next drawing. What do we need to see? We can do another face. We can check out. The problem with drawing Ninjago characters is that it ends up being very like simple and comic booky, which is fine, but it's hard to teach certain techniques when you're drawing like a Lego character. Oh, it's a dragon Lego character. Sure, let's do it. We can do it. Let's do a little bit of a dragon. Okay. Draw a crow. Oh, we always do draw a crow. Can you draw with me? Not today, but I'd love to have you some other time. What do you draw? Nathan, draw a crow, please. Yeah. Alright, let's go. I don't like how this guy's looking at me, so we're just gonna hide him for a little bit. Okay, Cool Edits just joined. Thank God, I've been waiting for Cool Edits here. Okay, so guess what, everybody? The same tips always apply. And you might be thinking, Nathan, the only thing you teach is the same thing over and over again. That's the whole point, idiot. That's what drawing is. You learn a couple of techniques and then they work everywhere. Your life has been made. What do you draw a crow anyways? What? You didn't want me to draw a crow anyways. Yeah, you did. Don't you lie. Don't act all coy. He's missing his dorsal plates and hands. Oh, no. That'll be a tomorrow thing then. Okay, so classics, like classic art, drawing meanness. I have a bunch of, damn, it's in my other sketchbook. I have a lot of classic art in my other sketchbook. This one is my teaching sketchbook. So, same thing applies. We're talking about simple shapes here, everybody. For a dragon, guess what? It has a snout. Now, here's a fun hot tip. Here's a big, juicy diarrhea tip for everybody. What you want to think about when you're drawing animals. If you're drawing a dog, right? A dog has a big circle head, but about the snout. How do I draw the snout? The best way I've found is just draw a box, a 3D box, and connect it into the head. That tricks your brain into understanding that that snout is 3D and it's sticking away from the body, it's sticking away from the head, and you end up getting like a really clean, good hit every single time you're drawing a snout. So, a dragon is basically all snout. So let's start with this circle or a box. Let's make it 3D, right? And this is pretty much going to be the dragon's head. And you might be thinking, holy, what the hell? Nathan, there's no way that that's the dragon head. Trust me, trust the process. This is all you really need for a dragon's head. You just need a big box that's going to be the full snout and everything. You need a little indication that the head is here. And then guess what? Everything else is neck. Everything on a dragon is just neck. They're basically just snakes with wings, right? If you think about everything as its simplest shape, you'll slowly understand that everything is just a snake with a little bit of detail on top. Okay, we're all feeling this? You can't see? Oh, right. 1 second. I'll fix it. Okay, so you have this sort of, it's almost like a horse, honestly. And as we're going with this, we're going to slowly refine everything. So I kind of want this snout to be a little bit shorter, so I'm going to refine it down. I'm going to add in a little bit more neck. And now, this is the setup. We know that the nose, the nostrils are going to be right here for this Ninjago dragon, right? We know that the mouth is going to be about at that middle point. We know that the chin is going to be a little bit separate from everything else, so we can do another small circle there. We know he's got big fangs, so let's just do some triangles for the big fangs. And then we also know that he has some crazy mustache hair, right? So I'm just going to draw 2 simple candy cane shapes for those mustache hairs, right? He's got some goatee action, so I'm going to draw a square to remember that. And then he basically just has this huge Chinese, Japanese style hat. So we can throw in a little indication for that. Then, from his nose, guess what? Just draw a straight line across. What happens with a lot of animals, what happens with a lot of Queen of Nass's going crazy. That's how I draw them. Draw snakes first, then add legs and wings to it. Exactly. Wait, guys, I think I scared Galaxy for calling her kitty cat meow face. When did you do that? Oh no. Galaxy dipped out so quick. And Mao left immediately too. Okay. We're going to draw a line straight from that nostril back, and that's going to give us about where our eye is going to be. So I'm going to throw in an oval for the eye. Oh my gosh, guys, it's slowly coming together. He has a ton of beard and wings and fur everywhere, so we're just going to draw in little indications for that. And that's basically all of the setup we're going to need for this drawing. Now, all we have to do is refine, refine, refine. Like all of these other drawings that we've done today. Everything started super simple, and then we slowly showed how to get more and more detail in. This guy needs to be covered up. He's freaking me out. So, for this dragon head, let's start crushing. Let's start cruising. We have, but Bloom is my official day one. Yeah, totally. Bloom is the day one. Mao isn't a real one? No shot. Galaxy's a real one. I think Galaxy's a total real one. Okay. Assassin Doggo. If you need more panoramic view, you can use the reference Kamata-kun. Okay. Sick. That's a good tip. Thank you, Doggo. Are you even still here, Doggo? So, now that we have all of this set up, now that we have all of this prep work, guess what? I can see now it's nice. Great! I'm glad! Wow! Really? Wait, really? Oh, you can see it now? So, what we want to do is we want to start refining. We want things to look cool. We want people to think that we are cool in this community, right? So, with this, I'm just going to start picking certain details that I feel really comfortable about, and I'm going to make them a little bit darker than usual. And what making them darker than usual feels like, or what it does for us, is it makes it permanent, or at least in my brain, it's adding a little bit of permanence to these lines that we are starting. Taking that initial draft, taking that initial idea and making it into the drawing is this step right now. And you might be thinking, well, isn't the foundation drawing? No, that's the thing. The foundation is just the foundation. In my head, all the foundation is going to be erased or covered up. So it's not even really in my brain space. It's just a way better way to start thinking about drawings instead of a blank piece of paper. So we're not even really thinking about any of these lines that I've already drawn. We're just thinking about the dark ones that I'm adding in right now. So we are taking our time. We're just adding the ones that we feel super comfortable with. We know that, remember when I said he had a beard and this is all in that little section? Guess what? We can use permanent lines now and really draw in this beard shape. Oh yeah. And really make it look like there's a bunch of hair sticking out of this dragon. And we can just continuously add in little bits of detail. He is a Lego dragon, by the way, so there are going to be some weird perspective switches, some weird images, right? But nothing too crazy. We are going down and around, and he even has this little flick around. Wow, so handsome. Wait, really? This guy, oh my gosh, look at how handsome he is. And his little beard and his little mustache. It's great! Okay, and then that jaw can finalize around there. We can add in a little bit more detail around there. We then have to copy this edge as well. Wow, this is really coming together. Queen of NASA, I hope you're just going crazy for this drawing. Another fun thing, another fun fact, if you are drawing any sort of character, like from a show or from a super popular comic or whatever, something to remind yourself or something to remember is that those drawings have to be really simple. Like Pokemon especially, those images, everything has to be pretty simple because they want everyone to remember exactly how it looks all the time. So we can use that to our advantage as we're drawing these things, because I know that they're not going to go too complex on any of this stuff. They're just going to draw all of the simplest lines they can think of, which usually ends up being just straight lines with slight curves. All of the details sort of are self-contained. And if you go into every drawing thinking that way, suddenly everything sort of starts looking really, really easy to draw, because they're just inherently have to be simple to draw, because all of the artists that are drawing them have to do it a million times over when they're animating. So you can't have super specific, crazy detailed things in very popular forms of media. And that is sort of just like a trick of the trade. So as we're going, you can see, remember all of that super simple, just sort of whatever drawings, the foundational stuff that we drew, all of that is just guiding my pencil along so that I can then make some really solid detail on top. I'm not thinking about any of those lines that we had previously drawn. I'm just using them to make sure that these fun lines and the fun drawings that I am doing don't mess up, right? So we can go into this eyebrow. He's got kind of a mean mug to him. His eyes are a little bit almond-like, so we're going to draw those in. He has sort of cat-like irises, so we'll draw that in. We'll shade in his eyes just a little tiny bit. We'll give him his classic little scar or detail around the eye. He has a little bit of an eyebrow, but we can't totally see it because it's going to be underneath this hat of his. But that's pretty much it for this drawing. Now all we have to do is figure out this hat. And guess what? We're pretty much there. And everybody's thinking, oh my god, he turned a bunch of really stupid lines into a nice Ninjago dragon. How did he do it? guess what? Practice and thinking about every single line. Oh, you're wondering how I did this drawing? I took my time and I did everything correct. That's how I drew this drawing. Isn't that nice? When you actually follow the lesson that you're supposed to be teaching and then things work out. Isn't that nice how stuff just works? Stuff just works when you really think about it. That's interesting. Oh, I never thought about it like that. Wait, if I learn something and then I do that something and it ends up working out, is that the right way to do stuff? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, actually that's the only way to do stuff. You big dumb idiot. Okay. And then we can just do some shading, whatever. Do a little bit extra up here. Throw in some extra detail. Who cares? This is our life. This is our world. No one can take this from us. We have the Epstein list. Okay. And dude, guess what? There is the Ninjago dragon. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that awesome how he just turns out? He looks scared. Assassin Doggo, you're in TikTok now. What the hell? But there he is. There's a nice cute dragon. 7 people watching. Wow! That's so nice. Thank you, everybody. He's one of the dragons of the Northern Spiral Dragon. I believe his red scars are part of his tribe features. Oh, that's sweet. That's very cool lore. He looks so squishable. I'm glad. Who is Onos? Eagle is handsome. He has a wife too. Whoa, this dragon has a wife? That's very interesting. Is she nice to him? Okay. We have drawn multiple pop culture figures. Oh, thanks for liking the live. We're getting there. We're getting to the final stages, everybody. We have 2 minutes left. 2 minutes and I'm free. You guys understand that I have to stream held at gunpoint every single time I stream, right? We've all talked about this fact before, that I'm not actually doing this because I have fun. It's because the government makes me stream. So, as we're going, yes, everybody, the government is making me stream. It's fine. I'm allowed to talk about it just because they know that I can't actually do anything to change it. So, I'm just kind of stuck, which is fine. Like, I didn't even really want a regular life. I'm fine just sort of wasting away. As you're drawing these little figures, I'll just do this little intro for 2 minutes and then I'm going to quit. When you're thinking about people, this is just a fun, I'm here and the next time you can draw Baby Sinclair. Ooh, I'll add it to the list. You have no idea about the lore, Nathan. They are irreceptible. Sick. It is, your passion for Ninjago is making me kind of want to start dipping into it more. I'm really thinking, like, what is the magic here? When you're drawing these people, Kamata-kun is looking into my soul. That's great. You start with the shoulder line. Start with a little neck, a little shoulder, draw on all of your little arm points and whatever. But for the body can be broken down into 2 chunks, 2 big steaks of chunks, right? And we just hit the hour mark. So what I'm going to do is for this chest, I'm going to draw 1 big chunk. Oh, and there we go. I have to do the little puzzle piece for TikTok to make sure I'm not a robot. 1 big chunk for the chest, right? And then 1 slightly smaller chunk for the hips. It's kind of like a snowman. So we can do, like, we can throw in a little bit more shape and structure to this. Basically like 2 big buckets. Same thing for the hips. Let's add in a top shelf and then make it look kind of like a pair of underpants. And then this gives us the perfect setup for our thighs and hips for then the legs to continue on. So, as you're drawing people, if you are drawing a Ninjago character to go get on top of this dragon and ride him around, or if you're drawing a human to kill this thing, whatever it is, remember, if you start with 2 buckets, 1 large bucket and then 1 tiny bucket, it sets you up for a very proportional body. And then you can just sort of fill in the little belly section, round out the hips, go down to the legs, and guess what? You've just drawn a pretty normal person. And that's all it is. That's all it takes. Everybody wants to claim that it's super hard, but if you just break it down to the simple shapes, you'll be fine. Okay. That's it. That's been the hour, everybody. If you're curious, this is what I look like. My name is Nathan. We stream on YouTube and TikTok all the time. Here's the reference image for that dragon that we just drew. Isn't that nice? And he looks pretty much the same. If you like me, follow. That would be super, super helpful. Any like, TikTok sucks, I know, Crow, but they're nice to me here. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I like to dance, and I smell like toots. Goodbye. Perfect! Guys! What a perfect stream. Crow, NASA, thank you guys for hanging out. Means a lot to me. I kind of like this time slot too. It's nice and easy, just like straight in the middle of the day. I feel very productive. Oh, you guys can still see that camera. And now I can basically just kind of fuck off for the rest of the day, man. It's easy, it's simple. It's nice, it's like smooth jazz. Crow said you sucked at TikTok? What? Doggo. Crow's bullying you on multiple platforms now? That's kind of nutty. That is kind of nutty bones. Silly Shroom Official, you're still here? Nice Swan 1 room tour. Dude, it's actually, the room tour is going to be not very fun anymore because I got rid of a ton of stuff. Like almost infinite stuff I got rid of. Galaxy, are people still bullying you at school? You're making your 200 subs mask early? Oh, sweet. I'm excited to see it. Hi, right back. Here, Crow. Quick little crazy room tour. I have a ton of sweatshirts that I sell right there. I have my entire drawing setup, which you always see. I've got a backpack on the ground. I have a photo wall to then take pictures of the sweatshirts that I sell. I have a big built-in closet with a ton of art supplies on shelves. And then I have a very messy desk. And that's the whole place. This is my office. Isn't it pretty beast? There's not a lot to look at. I like this time slot too, right after math, mom leaves. Oh, right after your mom leaves for work. Perfect. You're homeschooled? Oh, I never knew that, Galaxy. Or I guess Silly Shroom now. You made 2 dragons for my 1K special. Gotta decide whether to torture my fan base with Ninjago or another random dragon. Dude. Also, NASA and Galaxy, have you guys both talked about how you're making dragon masks at the same time? Oop. Why is there no mods? What do you mean? What would a mod do? What in our chat? What in the chat was like anti-mod? He will be the victim of my new empire. Sass and Doggo, it's so funny having you just separate from the crowd but still typing in the conversation. Like we only have 3 viewers. We don't need a mod, Galaxy. If someone does something inappropriate or like in need of a mod, I'll just handle it. Can put people in timeout and delete comments. I'll just do that. It's just you guys. Everybody that is watching is in chat right now. It's like, it's not too much to take care of. You make both? Oh, sweet. Crow's starting to attack me, I just know it. Crow attacks everybody. It's just sort of the trick of the trade. Since day 1, come on, Nathan. Yeah, you have been. And you've been very nice. I don't think you've bullied anyone today, which is great. You are a responsible Crow, and I appreciate it. If you were irresponsible, then we would have had some problems. Cap? Explain yourself, Galaxy. Why is that cap? What's Crow been doing behind the scenes? Is Crow actively bullying you? Heartache? Heartbreak? Oh my god. Crow bullied me unintentionally when I was on TikTok. True. Shh. Oh, there's some lore here. We've got we've got new lore dropping. Galaxy has some secrets. Okay, everybody, this has been awesome. I filled my time card. I feel really good about what we drew today. I'm out of here. I think I'm gonna go for a bike ride, or like a long walk, or listen to some music. Something nice. I hope you guys all do too. Oh noes, I know, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to leave, but it's gotta happen. I've done my hour of drawing. My practice is finished. I'm proud of this face. This face turned out like kind of banging. I'm also really happy with this camera. Aren't you guys like psyched that you can finally see my pencil lines? Remember when you couldn't see anything until I did the very final outline? That was so boring. I was so sad. Kill YouTube first. Okay, I can do that. Love your mask, by the way, Shroom. Dude, you both of you make incredible masks. I will say. I really love them all. I've checked, I've looked. I've done some snoopage. They're sweet. And also like the clankers. Like you're both showing so much promise too to like just keep getting better and better and better with this, with all of the masks and all of the props and all of the costume stuff. So, it's really really cool. I don't make masks? What? Am I thinking what am I thinking of? You make what? Give me a second. Oh, yes. I call those masks. Like if you made them bigger, they would be masks, right? That's my bad. I misspoke. Yes. They are more puppets. From from a guy like me that doesn't know too many words, I was close. Viva la vida. Bingo, for real. Well, anyways, alright. I'm out of here. Thank you all so much. I have to kill YouTube first because Assassin Doggo is the last man standing in Twitch chat. There's a different buddy. No. There's no different buddies. I just made a mistake. Okay.